Greetings, Management 1010 Interdisciplinary Leadership students. Welcome to the 2014 spring semester. This is our, we started class a few days ago, then we had a holiday weekend, and so now that we're really getting into the semester, I wanted to reach out to you and introduce myself to you. My name is Dr. Joan McGrory. You can call me Dr. Joan. I'm going to be your instructor for this online course, as you see there on the screen, called Management 1010 Interdisciplinary Leadership. This is a really great course, and I think you're going to like it. Probably all your professors say that because we have a passion for the subjects that we teach. But there's a lot of self-discovery that goes on in this class as you learn about different leadership styles. You're going to recognize yourself in some of those styles. You're going to understand other people in your life, whether that's on the job or perhaps in your family. And so it has a lot of direct application that you can that you can choose to apply very quickly, but it tends to jump out at you very quickly. So look for that in the course, and you'll see that as you're reading the textbook and completing the quizzes, as well as the movie assignments, that you're really going to start to integrate this into your life. And I think that you'll enjoy the class. Okay, so speaking of the class, let me get right to the root of what we need to do. I have sent you via email two documents. One is the syllabus and one is the schedule, and I'm going to talk about these very briefly. Now, if you're saying what schedule, what syllabus, I would also encourage you, as you enter our class in pause, to explore the content link, and I'm going to click on it there. And this is the spring 2014 semester, and so this interface into pause is brand new, and so it's going to take some getting used to. You can definitely do it, okay? It's an adjustment. It is change. But the more time you spend clicking on things and making the connection, I clicked on this, and so now what's happened, the more comfortable you're going to get with it. So the content link is where you see content that you need for the course. What is content? It's things that we in a traditional classroom would hand out, right? Also, it's instructions. You need to read the chapter. These are the particular pages of the chapter that you need to read. Those types of things. Okay, now, I'm also going to send you a link. I've already sent this, but I want you to be aware of it to help you navigate this brand new online environment. I have created a series of videos. Now, the video that I'm giving you today is kind of a long video because we have some things to talk about, but you'll notice that our system, which is called PAWS, as in a Saluki, which is our mascot, as in a Saluki paw, right? A Saluki is a dog, by the way, right? An Egyptian hunting dog. But some of these videos are just 1 minute. I think you can spare 1 minute. And in the 1 minute videos, they're fast. You may have to pause. They do not talk about best practices. They simply say this is how to, and they demonstrate how to. If you need further explanation, I am in the process of developing slightly longer. They may be 5 minutes as opposed to 1 minute videos that give you a greater detail on the explanation, fill in some tips and tricks for success that I think will be helpful. So this is off my faculty webpage, but again, I'll include this web address in the email that I send you so that you'll have these updated videos as a reference, okay? Okay, so all that said, I am in our course management system called PAWS. This is where we meet. It is an online class. We do not ever come together in the classroom. Everything is done online. Now, I'm going to start with the syllabus. Nice, beautiful document. I did email this to you, but I'm going to pull it up here on the screen. And you can see it starts out with a table of contents. Why? Because you are expected to reference this. As I first send it to you, I expect you to read it from cover to cover. Why would you do that? You say, my goodness, why would I do that? Well, because this is about earning a grade. So how do you earn the grade? What are you supposed to do? Who's going to tell you? This document tells you. And as you come into the course, you're going to be more successful if you understand how the course is operating. This is the operating instructions for the course, so you want to make sure you read it. Now, over the next 15, 16 weeks, we're freezing cold today, but in 15, 16 weeks, we're going to be warm and wearing flip-flops and, sitting outside to do our work, right? And you're going to forget some stuff. So you've got the page numbers here, you flip to the page, you look it up again to make sure you stay on track, okay? You're doing what's expected. All right, so just a little bit about that. Now let me walk through it. I'm not, rest assured, not going to read the whole thing to you. Just want to point out some key pieces of information. First, I'm sending you this video via pause email, and you need to check it once a day. For an online student, I don't think that's asking too much. I try not to overwhelm you with emails, but if I have some important information to send to you, I need to know that within a 24-hour time period, you're going to be checking in on your email and that you're going to receive that. Now, what is this course about? We sign up for courses, we say, I don't know, it was open, I was able to get the last seat, let me sign up for. Well, what are we going to learn in this class? There's the description. We're going to learn about different leadership frameworks, vision statements, team building, goal setting. You can read that. Now, in this course, we're going to learn a lot of things, but there are 5 key things. We call these things objectives. There are 5 learning objectives. And at the end of the course, we're going to take a quiz that we call the Student Learning Objective Quiz, or the SLO quiz, that is going to assess your knowledge on these 5 things. I will talk more about this later. It's not going to be relevant until the end of the semester. So, that's when I'll give you the instructions. But for now, you just want to know that that quiz is going to be based on these 5 objectives, which are considered to be primary objectives and things that you study throughout the semester. In the syllabus, I've inserted a couple pictures and brief descriptions to whet your appetite about some of the leaders that we're going to be studying. Here's kind of how the course works. You're going to read articles and definitions and stories about leaders. You're going to watch movies about leaders. These leaders exemplify the characteristics that you're trying to study. Folks, I have a secret. I'm just going to share it with you early in the course. None of us are perfect, and even though I teach the subject, I am not a perfect leader. I know, you're shocked, aren't you? How can you take the course from somebody who is not a perfect leader? Well, it's true. It's true. But I can be on a journey of improvement, and I can learn from people who have discovered excellent leadership tactics. Now, I want you to think about something when we think about perfect leaders. Mother Teresa, who many people know as working with the lepers, the poor nun, and of course she's passed now, but she was a great leader. She accomplished a lot of things. If you take her leadership style and you said, Mother Teresa, you're going to be commander of the military, can you see that translating effectively, or do you think she might have had some difficulty there? Colin Powell, wonderful leader, well-respected leader, excellent in his field. Many excellent YouTube videos from Colin Powell on YouTube. What if we put him over a convent? He's going to, run a mission, not with military people, but with, these volunteers, poor people surrounding him. Now, I'm not saying both of these great leaders couldn't adjust, but it would be an adjustment, wouldn't it? Their leadership styles were different and based on the situation, the people that they were leading. It was dynamic and it was changing, but it fit the specific situation. Okay, look at Martin Luther King and Gandhi, as I have here on the screen, are very similar leaders. In fact, you may already know that Martin Luther King Jr. Took many of his leadership characteristics from Gandhi. Right? Well, it's very appropriate to the situation, and these are 2 leaders that we are going to study throughout our semester and in your textbook, right? So we're going to learn by looking at their examples. Now, I talked about the textbook. What textbook do you need? This is a picture of the book here. It's the 4th edition, and it's called Leadership Developmental Studies, Humanities Approach. It is in the 4th edition. So, there's lots of ways that you can get this textbook. Students always say, I'm not sure if I've got the right textbook. Hey, you know what? Take the guesswork out of it. Go to the bookstore, say, this is the course I'm taking. They will say, here's the book, right? That way you know you have the correct book. There are other resources, of course, and you can certainly explore those. But I want to talk to you about what to do if you cannot afford a textbook. I understand books are expensive, and if you're taking 4 and 5 classes, you may spend $1,000 in books, and I understand it's expensive. But for this course, it is essential. You've got to have the book, because the questions that you're going to answer are based on very specific readings, and the easiest way to have all those readings together is to simply have a book where they're there for you. Now, if you cannot afford the book, just go to the library. Go to our college library. Walk up to the reference desk. Tell them this course, Management 1010 Interdisciplinary Leadership. Tell them my name, Dr. Joan McGrory, and tell them that you need the book that is on reference. Now, students get confused by this because they think that you're going to go check out the book and take it home. Not the case. When a book is on reference, it means it stays at the library. You're going to sign it out or check it out with your college ID. You're going to go sit at a table. There are computers in the library. You can use the book while you're taking quizzes or completing assignments. Here's another idea. If you know, and I think you will need this, you'll need to reference that book later on. Take notes. Write stuff down. Is it going to take more time? Yes, okay, but it will save you the cost of the textbook. So you do have access to that textbook, but if you are not going to buy it, then it may require that you come to the library and spend some time at the library, check their operating hours, okay? All right, now, obviously, you're going to need logins into the PAWS system. You're going to need those things that are provided to you by the college. On your computer, you're going to need a word processor and internet access. This is an online course. You are going to be doing some writing assignments. Are they papers? I would not call them papers because these are questions that you're going to answer based on movies that you're going to watch. By and large, they're short answer, but they are not slapped out answers. Okay, they need to use proper grammar. They need to use proper spelling. Punctuation is necessary. Capitalization, proper capitalization is necessary. So, can you do this on your cell phone? No. Is there a form that you're going to type stuff into? No. You are going to open up a Word document and you're going to type into that to express your leadership styles. What if you don't have a word processor on your home computer? Well, again, what if you don't have a home computer and you're taking an online course? Is that impossible? No. We have computers at the library, and again, just make time. Almost any public library is going to have computers with internet access and a word processor installed, so look into that. Okay, now if you do have an accommodation that needs to be made, there is no problem with that, folks. Glad to help you, but I do need the official letter with the college. In other words, you cannot just email me and say, I would like to have double time on the test. We'd all like to have double time on the test. Got to have that documented through the college. You can do that. You can do it, all right? It's not a problem. And if you're in that situation, you may already know about that. Here are 2 more leaders that we're going to study. Cesar Chavez, right? Very important to the Mexican-American farm workers. Great, rich history there. Harriet Tubman, totally different leadership style than Martin Luther King and then Gandhi. As you read the stories about Harriet Tubman, you might really be impressed. She had a great leadership style. She had some chutzpah, let's say that, okay? Now, throughout the semester, what if you need to contact me? What if you need to talk to me? Well, you are an online student, and so we need to use the online tools. I am happy to help you, but I want to, when you teach for a long time, there are certain questions or situations that come up frequently. And so if I can go ahead and answer those so that, you don't have to ask them, then that'll help. And so in that vein, let me tell you this. I often get students in an online class who will come to my office and they'll sit down and they'll say, give me the lecture, give me the lecture. Right? Well, no. What you're asking me to do is basically to do the course for you. And that doesn't work on a whole bunch of levels. You are going to have to read. You're going to have to read more than if you were in a traditional classroom. In the traditional classroom, we do lecture, we do discuss, we do talk about the readings and pull you through things. In the online course, when you're saying to yourself, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, then you need to calm yourself. You need to pull up the website. You need to go to the content pages. You need to read, what is my next instruction? You should click on the quizzes. You should click on the Dropbox, and we'll talk about these things. And you should be asking yourself, what are my due dates that are up and coming? Okay. Now, another document, I'm going to keep talking about the syllabus, but another document that's going to help you stay on track is this schedule. Let me pull this up just really quickly. Okay, this is another document that I've emailed to you. It is also in the content area of PAWS. And on a week-by-week basis, and I do expect you to read all these things that I wrote. I'm not going to read it to you, but I do know what it says because I wrote it. So I wrote it to you so that you would have this, right? Okay. Over here on the side, it says week 1, and if I'm just scrolling down, I don't want to make you seasick, but if I just scroll, look at this. By the time we're at the end, comprehensive final exam, we're in, I guess I stopped counting, week 12, and then we have a quiz, 13. This is actually week 14 and week 15, right? So it tries to give you a pacing. Now, what if, let me go back up here to the top. I apologize for making you dizzy. As you look ahead and you see that you have a movie that you're required to watch in week 2, right? And you say, oh my goodness, I've got a paper I already know about that's due then. I've got some other coursework. Well, since you've got this schedule and you look ahead and you see that you have that work that is going to be due, then what you might need to do is do it early. So what a lot of students do to be successful is they make their own calendar, right? You can go to student services and get a what they call a student planner or a student handbook, and it has a calendar in it that has the college holidays and all the information you need. And you can start to write those assignments down. And when you put your work schedule on there and various, appointments for your children, for your family, just all the things that you have to do, you may realize, hey, I have to work all day the day this is due, and I have 3 other assignments due that day. I need to actually complete this 2 or 3 days early or a week early, okay? I'm not crazy. You got to do it early, right? As Sheldon from Big Bang says, I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested, right? So it's not crazy to do things early to get them done in a manner where you can excel and do well. Because you don't want to try to turn them in late, because let me just tell you, I don't accept it late. You're going to try to email it to me, and I'm going to send it back to you and say, no, you've got a 0 on this. I don't take the email assignments. Those drop boxes are going to have due dates on them, and you've got to turn it in before the due date. Not at the last minute, not running up to the bell, in advance where you've had time to look it over, do a good job. So this schedule, and you're going to be able to look through it, has the assignments, what you need to read, what you need to watch, what you need to do. It tells you the upcoming due date, right? And so you can stay on task. Now, why do I have in this second column the dates? Here's why. In an online class, it's very easy for something to be out of sight and out of mind. So I want you to make an appointment with yourself. On this schedule, I simply said, let me just pick Tuesday as the meeting date. we're not going to meet. This class is only online, right? But I'm going to always check in to my class based on this Tuesday schedule. I'm saying this to you as a student. I check into it every day. Okay, so if you need to do a little bit of work in the class every day, but you need to be monitoring those assignments on a weekly basis. Make that appointment with yourself so that it does not become out of sight, out of mind. All right? Okay, so that's the schedule. Let me continue on with the syllabus. I'm back here with the syllabus. In terms of communicating with me, what I was telling you is, we're not going to get together and have a little one-on-one lecture where for 25 students I'm delivering the lecture 25 separate and independent times at your convenience. No, 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 no. That is not what an online class is. If you email me, though, I am glad to answer your questions. Now, let's just, talk shop here for a minute, or talk in a realistic way. You are, if you're taking this course, pursuing a business degree or an advanced degree of some kind. And so you start exhibiting those behaviors now, not when you graduate, not after you have the dream job. I used to hear that a lot when I was supervising people. They would say, give me the job first, and then I'll act the way that you want me to act. I will start to check my spelling and grammar, but only after I've gotten that third promotion. It never works like that. When you exhibit the behavior, people recognize that in you, and they see you in a new light. For example, the light of a business professional. Okay, so let me just pull. I know you can't quite see this yet. Let me pull this up. So if you send me an email and you say, sometimes I get this, hey, sometimes I just don't get anything at all. Sometimes I get this, I can't start movie. Oh, no, there won't be any punctuation on that. I guess, I've always wondered what the appropriate response is to something like that. I think it would be that. Okay. I really don't know what that's supposed to mean. You feel comfortable, some of you, speaking to someone else like that, but you don't want that kind of response back. Now, I think the reason that it's unusual to expect an instructor to give this kind of response is because you see it as very unprofessional. And because it's unprofessional, it would be uncharacteristic and unacceptable. A lot of uns, right? So, what if we did this? Dr. Joan, I am working on chapter 2, and I am trying to watch the movie 12 O'Clock High. Now let me do this. Now, aren't you already intrigued in what the rest of the email is going to say? You don't even know what the question is yet, but you have a nice basis for what this particular student is working on. This person has taken the time to address me by name. They may, you can within the PAWS system communicate with your classmates. You don't even have to know their email address. And if you watch some of the PAWS videos that I have, you'll understand more about that. Imagine saying to your classmate, hey, can't watch the movie. Well, what are they going to say back to you, Kay? Right? What if you took the time to talk to your classmates in this respectful manner? Mr. Smith, boy, that would really be perspective. How about at least something like Bob or John or Jane or whatever it is? In other words, you're important to me, and so I want to address you by name. When I respond to you, I will take the time to address you by name, and I hope that you will do the same to me, just to show that kind of respect. When you talk to me, I do expect you to capitalize. I do expect you to use punctuation. And I will in turn do that for you, because we are business professionals. We're going to communicate in that way, right? We're not casual drinking buddies out on the schoolyard playing. We are career professionals. And so we start that behavior today and always. It's not a turn on, turn off thing. It's who we are. Right? So it's very important. Now, let me tell you kind of the downside. Well, let me tell you one more thing. To respect yourself, why don't you conclude with your name? You know what's really nice? A lot of times when students start to ask me about an assignment, um, from this one I would deduce that you are in the leadership class because of the movie, but oftentimes I'll get an email that says, I can't do quiz 2. Well, I don't even know what class you're in, and I'm going to have to go look it up. How disrespectful is that to say, hey, you go figure it out, it's not my problem, and you're the one with the question, right? Couldn't you tell me, this takes 2 minutes, but it's going to save you a lot of back and forth emails if you simply say, I am a student in your financial management. How about that class? I teach a lot of classes, and I can't do quiz number 1. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you may say, that takes too long, but I'm going to tell you what's going to take longer. When you send me the email and you don't even, bother to put your name, you don't even address me by name, you don't use any punctuation, and, I don't know, I can't do the quiz, I don't even know what quiz you're working on, I'm going to email you back and I'm going to ask about all of this. I'm not going to understand this because I typically truly don't, because it's hard to understand. You know what you mean, but I don't. I've had about 20 conversations with many different students on a variety of different subjects, and now you're throwing me this and I don't understand. So I'm going to email you back. Guess what happens when I email you back and I say, who are you and what are we talking about and what class are you in? You're going to get mad. And it's going to go from Thursday to Friday, and then you're going to respond, and now I responded Saturday, and now I still have some questions, so now it's Sunday and it's Monday, and the assignment was already due, right? Well, it's going to be much faster for you if you take the time to complete your thoughts, put them out there, and we just, we discuss. And the more open you are to explain what's going on, the better able I am to help you. And again, I want to emphasize that we're planning for these business careers, and communication is something that all businesses struggle with. And it's typically what causes error, is because people miscommunicate. And consequently, it's necessary to be complete in your thoughts. I may still have questions, just like you may still have questions after you read my instructions, even though I've tried to do everything I'm saying to you now. So the more complete, the more professional, the more respectful we are with each other, it's just going to make for a better semester. It quells the frustration, it helps us get the information that we need, and it's just better all the way around. All right? Okay, let me continue on. Now, by and large, the best way for you to communicate with me is going to be through pause email. As a student, I'm going to require that of you. If you are unsure about how to use the pause email, then, whoops, I guess then you can't do the quiz, then again, I'm going to direct you to these pause videos that I have. I have 3 separate 1-minute videos that will show you very quickly. I have some longer ones that will give you some tips and tricks for success. And again, I'll send you the link to this page so that you have that. Okay, but pause email is going to be required. Now, why email? Why not call me on the phone? That's going to be fast, isn't it? Isn't that going to be important? Well, here's the problem. If you call me on the telephone, I will call you as soon as I'm able during my office hours. I cannot call you while I'm in class, and I will not call you from my home, okay? So you're going to be waiting for me to come back to the office. I have a nasty habit, though, and that is that when I'm at home, I tend to leave my computer on, and I tend to leave my email up and running and active. Now, when I say email, I'm saying pause email. If you email the regular Southwest email, I will respond to you and say, that's a great question. I can't wait for you to ask it in the pause email, because I need to keep the emails organized, okay? And for class-related conversations, not advising, not sports events, not club activities, for class-related conversations, I need you to use the pause email system. Okay, that's just my preference. Your other teachers may do something different. So I'll have my computer open at home, I'll have the pause email up, and maybe it's Saturday afternoon, and I'm cleaning my house, cooking dinner, I don't know, doing whatever, right? I see this email that comes in. Well, if that was a voicemail on my phone, I guess it'll be Monday before I answer. But because it's Saturday and I see the email on my computer, I'm going to respond, and you'll probably have your answer pretty quickly. Now, I do sleep. I don't answer emails at 2 o'clock in the morning typically, okay? And I do have a life that I try to live as best as I can, same as you. So they're not instantaneous responses. You do need to allow time for me to respond. But by and large, it's going to be most effective if you'll send me an email. And that often means taking a few minutes to compose the email, figure out what it is that you're asking. Now, I'm just going to skim through this information that talks to you about the office hours and telephone calls. Here's a little bit more information on Paul's email. I have to confess that this link to this video is old. It's for the old system. We didn't get this upgrade until literally one day before the semester started, and so I'm catching up as fast as I can, but I am going to make those video information available to you. Now, here's some more leaders. We have Chief Joseph the Elder and Chief Joseph the Younger, two very different leadership styles. You're going to get to read about those. But here's what you're most interested in: methods of evaluation. You're going to have quizzes throughout the semester, okay? These quizzes have due dates. They are in the pause system, and very important that you do them. One thing I want to point out to you is that I'm a pretty nice guy, right? You have unlimited attempts on those quizzes. You can take them over and over and over with no negative impact on your grade. The only score that I record is your highest score. So here's my example. Let's just say you took a quiz 4 times. The first time you made a 5 out of 10, then you made a 10 out of 10, then a 7 out of 10, and then a 3. Ooh, bombed it. 3 out of 10. Well, which one of these was your highest grade? Well, it looks like the second time you took it when you made this 10 out of 10. So that's the only one I'm going to count. That's pretty cool, isn't it? The more times you take the quiz, the more you're going to study. The more you're looking at the material, the more you're working through that textbook. So I want you to repeat the quiz. But there is a catch. You're right. The catch is that you have got to at least score a C on that quiz. Otherwise, I'm not going to count it at all. It's going to be a big fat 0. If you take this quiz one time and you score a 50%, you have not scored a 50%, you've scored a 0. The system is going to say to you, but you've got 5 out of 10 points. But we're going to look back at the syllabus at the end of the semester and we're going to say that's not a 50%, that's a goose egg, that's a 0, right? Because you quit on yourself. And if you're going to quit on yourself, I can't let you slide on that. I've got to hold you accountable. And so I'm going to say to you right now, you cannot quit on yourself until you make at least a C. Come on, folks. Unlimited attempts. Okay? Now, let's see. Do you have a drop grade in there? I always got to look for that. Minimum scores. Highest score for each assignment is used. Also, of all your quizzes, the lowest grade is dropped. I'm giving you every opportunity to succeed. Every opportunity. All you got to do is read the material, take the quiz before the due date. Now, let's say that this quiz is due, and we could pull up our schedule here. That Chapter 1 quiz is due Tuesday, February 4th. When do you need to start that quiz if you're going to take it more than once? Well, if you started on Tuesday, February 24th, which many of you do, then you may only have time to take it once. And I hope you don't score a 50%, because if so, that's a goose egg. That's a 0, right? You've got to get that score up. So you probably have to start Monday. Well, but what if you don't get to where you need to do on Monday? That means you'd only have 1 day left. So maybe you should start Sunday. Well, you know what, though? You've got to work and you've got some family obligations Sunday. Maybe start Saturday. But wait a minute, you don't have your book yet, and so you need to spend some time in the library. Okay, so maybe that needs to be Saturday or Friday, all right? But somebody else has the book that's on reference checked out. You need to use a computer and you need some quiet time to focus on the computer, then maybe that's Thursday. And if you do well on that quiz on Thursday and Friday, then you're effectively done and you can start working on the movie assignment. What? I have more things to do? Yes, make that schedule. You see how important that is, and you are going to need to work on these classes, on these assignments every day. Do something. If it's 30 minutes, if it's an hour, spend some time on these assignments every single day. All right, back to the syllabus. So that's your quizzes. Now let's talk about the writing assignments. You have 5 writing assignments, and each and every one of these is required. For the writing assignments, there is no drop grade. As you look at this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that's 100 points there of writing assignments. For each one of these, you will watch a movie, and you'll look in the pause drop box, and you say, I don't understand Dropbox. I don't know how to use Dropbox. Well, you're going to use the videos that I've prepared to make sure. But if I'm in pause, all I have to do is look under assessments. Things that are assessed, in other words, places where I earn grades, are going to be in this area. So in the Dropbox, and I know this is a long video, folks, and I apologize. You're going to click on the name of the assignment, and you're going to read these detailed instructions. When you have completed the assignment, now here's a starter document that I've given you. You're going to open this in your word processor, and you're going to type your answers into it, and then you're going to add it to here, and you're going to submit it. This is all explained in the videos on Dropbox. Okay. So what do I do for this? Well, according to the instructions, it's going to tell me about the movie that you need to watch, and in this particular case, it's 12 O'Clock High. Now, this is a very old movie. They frequently air it on some of the free television channels like MeTV, okay? But students find videos in all kinds of places. Maybe you find it on the internet, maybe not. If you find it, more power to you. I'm excited for you. But please do not email me and say, I cannot find that movie, because I have it for you at the library. I have 1 copy. That means that if all of you show up the night before it's due, then you're going to have to watch it together, okay? Or you need to make time now to get in there and watch that movie. Don't wait till the last minute, okay? Because that's a 20-point assignment. Now here's a quick quiz for you, because we're 36 minutes into this video. Do I take late assignments? You can do it early, but you cannot do it late. Okay, so cannot submit it late. All right, so let's go back to the syllabus a little bit further. SLO exam. Remember, this is the Student Learning Objectives exam. It's going to be 45 points. I will tell you more about it. It's a multiple choice quiz, and it is going to cover those 5 objectives that I showed you at the beginning of the syllabus. Now, you do have tests. You have 3 tests throughout the semester. Test 1, Test 2, and a comprehensive test, the final exam, right? So one of those grades, your lowest grade, will be dropped. I'll tell you my philosophy for success. I would try to do really well on this first exam that covers only chapters 1 through 6. Then I would try to do really well on this exam that covers only chapters 7 through 10. And then for the comprehensive final, maybe I do well, maybe I don't, but if it's my lowest grade, it would be dropped. So I don't have the pressure of doing well on a 10-chapter exam if I do well on the first 2. Now, are there makeup exams? No. You have got to do the assignments on time. On time. I give you a big window of availability. A reasonable, not big, a reasonable window of availability. I'll tell you more about the quizzes as we get closer to them, but you are expected to complete them in a timely manner. You cannot do them late. If you miss it, then that's your drop grade. Okay, so instead of makeup test, it's a drop grade. Okay, so that's how we do it. Now, extra credit, and we'll talk more about this later, but you have the opportunity to earn 445 points, required points throughout the semester. All you do is add up the points that you earn and divide by 445 and multiply by 100, and then you'll know your grade. Here's the section, how do I calculate my grade? So at the end of the semester, again, you keep the syllabus. You refer to it throughout the semester so that you have it. You've got all the information that you need. So A is an A, a B is a B, a C is a C, and there's the scale for that. Do I round? Why would you ask me that? Why are you on the first day of class trying to cut it that close? Okay, if you shoot for 100 and you only get a 99, then you don't have to worry about rounding. Okay, your goal is to do your best and to submit all work with excellence, right? With excellence. You're to go above and beyond. You're to pass the mark, to reach beyond it, okay? This is a great class with immediate application. If you put yourself into it and you do the reading and you complete the quizzes and you watch the movies and you complete the writing assignments before the due date, according to a schedule that you put together, you can succeed. Now, I'm on page 10 here, and notice that this begins a detailed explanation of assignments. It just gives you more background, no makeup exams, right? Due dates are real and time limits do apply. So you can go through and read this detailed information. Look at that. You have one attempt on the SLO exam, no makeup, right? So you can start to read this, and it gives you, for those types of assignments, what you need to do. Even gives you a link to the schedule. You have the schedule, which is a document that's going to help you plan so that you can put your personal calendar together and really do well on it. And you have, most importantly, the pause system, where you need to explore these menus. And as you do, one thing that you'll see right away is that you have a quiz due tonight, right? Now this quiz, look at these unlimited attempts, is an attendance quiz, and it's how I ensure that you are active in the class, and I report this to the college. So I'm clicking on the first attendance quiz. I'm going to scroll down to read the instructions. Once I have, I'm going to click Start Quiz. You're going to read all of this. You're going to click OK. You're going to patiently wait for the quiz to load. The quiz simply says, are you here? It's almost like calling roll. Yes, I'm here and I'm attending. Save your responses. Always save your responses as you answer each question in a quiz. This is a one-question quiz. You're going to submit it. And that gives you some practice with the pause quiz tool, right? And it lets me record your attendance in the class. So very, very important. Look at that. I got a 1 out of 1. So you earn a point by doing that. And this is all documented in your syllabus. You can review your attempts there. Okay. I might go back to content. I might go back to communications. I encourage you to explore each one of these lists so that you know what's going on. I'm going to leave you and stop this video now as I return to content. I know this was a long one. I appreciate your patience. But start to kind of read how the course works. Some of this information may be a little dated. Again, I do apologize because we got access to this upgrade about 1 day before the semester started. But I've compensated for that because I have lots of video options that will bring you up to speed quickly. Okay, make sure you look at the syllabus, make sure you look at the schedule, continue into Chapter 1 instructions, and just keep on working through these. Monitor your due dates on assignments. The due dates are going to be a bit visible to you, when you click on drop boxes. See the due dates? Okay. Plus you have the schedule. Don't forget the schedule. And the due dates are going to be visible to you in the quizzes area. And from the syllabus, you know that we have Dropbox assignments and we have quizzes. See the due dates? All right. So now it's up to you. Get your textbook, get to reading, get to watching that first movie, 12 o'clock high. Complete that writing assignment, submit it into the system, make sure you've proofed it and done a good job on it, submit it into the system, and I wish you really good success throughout the semester. But success comes from preparation and from hard work and doing, and so it's time to get doing. All right, enjoy it, and I look forward to a great semester. I really think you're going to like the class. Talk to you soon.